Well, welcome to another edition of Awesomecalls Trading.com. I want to say welcome. And I'm AJ, as you all know, of the real AJ, of AJ Trader 7. And today's pre-market plan we put together early this morning. And I'll tell you, it was really a great list for so many. And myself, of course, we all had a really, for the most part, I think most of us in our room had a great day. And it was a lot of fun. It was quick. It was fast. Um, and I want you to when we do a pre-market game plan, we make a plan where you can actually trade the stock pretty much most of the day. And as you see these calls, you're going to understand what I mean by that. And I think today we were about 85, 87% accurate of what we did. And on our calls today. And I think you're going to be really impressed with the 5 or 6 that I pick and for you to review. So I'm going to start with our number 1 pick in the morning. And a lot of times I'm not in the room. Janny Moore, one of our great mods, he lives in Europe. He is in the room really early in the morning and way before the market opens. And he's got his screen share up and he's talking to people. A lot of traders do come in and get up early and they're immediately making money if they can trade pre-market. Me, I'm up at 4 o'clock every morning, 4:30. I live in California, Beverly Hills area, and I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock, and I start to go to work. And my work is I spend hours before the market opens. I do tremendous amount of researching and to develop a game plan for about 12 different stock ideas. And the reason why I do 10 to 12 ideas is simply because I have uh, a, a wide range of traders that trade in the chat room. Plus, I pretty much support 10 other chat rooms in here that listen to all my calls and then feed their room my calls. So it's a pretty large audience, and they depend on these notes. And I don't really turn them loose until mid-afternoon or mid-morning, so you can see how we played these because most of the stocks are still going in play. Um, but every once in a while, I'll see something and I'll make a decision like, okay, and I have a lot of following. I have almost 30,000 people that follow me. So if I see something, I know the people in my room that aren't in the room yet have their Twitter feeds up and they're watching my feed. And so it's important. I will never give a trader after the fact. Oh, by the way, I'm in it. Well, why didn't you tell me? You know how many people that do that? I don't do that. I don't see a move and it pops and then it goes, oh yeah, I'm in it down here. There's so many after the fact traders that do that, and people that run rooms that do that, and I don't. I'm just hey, if the stock tanks and trolls want to come out and go, hey, that was a stupid call. Okay, hey, how many calls have I done that are really good? And so today I started with MDB. MDB came out with news this morning, really early in pre-market, that Amazon is in talks to launch a similar document service. Okay, that they really want to do something that's similar to MDB. Well, that's fine and dandy, but the problem on that is you're gapping down. I mean, this stock closed at 86, and I'm staring at $70 on the stock. And typically, what happens twofolds. You've got a lot of shorts that are shorting the stock in retail at 86, 87, and 88. So imagine what they're thinking when they woke up and the stock's sitting at 70. What do you think they're going to do? And then the twofold is usually when Amazon comes out with information or they're going to engage in something new, groceries, gaming, document service, typically those stocks end up bouncing back and then settle and then fade. And I've done this for many, many years. So I anticipate that move. And so what I felt was that I made a decision this morning that MDB was overdone. I'm long at 72.50 and I'm going to rebound it. And I think the stock goes towards 80. And that was a decision I made before any analyst came out um, and defended the stock. And so I immediately took a position. And if you look at my Twitter feed this morning, not only did I take the position, I told you the position, and um, I tweeted it out. I was going long at 72, right? And here's the call, and then here's actually um, the entry right there, and here's an exit. And you can see it took me 6.5 minutes to make that money on 2 points, and I made $575. I didn't go large size. I love to start my day with a win. I'm all about winning because that tells me right there that and I did alert on Twitter. Below that tweet, you will see the actual call that I'm long MDB. And what I do in our room is I always find range stocks with lots of range. So even though I may be out of it and you miss it, okay, and you miss the call, then you will still have range because why? Because I said the stock would go to 80. All right. And this is why chat rooms copy our services, why they take the same calls. Because they know that, okay, I missed his 72, so I'm going to just go in at 74, 75 and then get out at 78 and say, hey, look at my call. But the reason why is because most people are taught that in our room, I always give you range. So even if you miss 72 or you miss 73 or you miss 74 or you miss 75, my notes are clear that the stock is going to go to $80 a share. Okay. And so what that does is it enables you to be able to nail at least 1, 2, or 3 points. Then I actually had people in the room that wanted to go long at 80. So I had to work with those people and tell them, okay, I do see it popping probably to 81, maybe 82, and then you're done. But for the most part, I kind of made it clear when it hit 80, I was done with it. Another question I get is why don't you stay in the trade longer? Hey, I'm not a home runner. I don't sit here and try to work home runs. Base hits all day long. If I can make 300 on Boeing, 200 on Netflix, 600 on MDB, make a 250 shares dollars on Kohl's. By the end of the day, I'm up 12, 1500 for the day. That's a nice, comfortable living. I'm not stressing. I don't think you've ever heard me do a webinar where I'm stressing. You know, all my calls are pretty accurate. I know what I'm looking for. I know why I'm looking for it. And for $6.75 a day, I think you're getting your money's worth. I mean, I saw the other day a gentleman charging $999 a month to be in his room, and he probably does 1/10 of what we do in here. So for the money value, I think getting just this call alone, if you took 50 shares, I want you to think about that for a second. 50 shares, just 50, and you bought 4 points or 5 points. You started your morning with $200 to $250. Just starting your day. Now, that is a hell of a return for a $6 investment. And for the annual traders in here, that are paying what, $2? They got their money's worth. Plus, they get the scans. You see my point? I evaluated the stock. I saw the shorts up here. I figured they're going to cover. It was thin, which tells me when it's thin like that, we're going to get a squeeze. All right. And then I felt that it was overly done. But I did feel like the stock would still get hurt, but I thought it would stop at 80. And this is a professional day trader's decision. This is what I do. I didn't say the stock would go to 85, did I? 86, 87, 88, did I? No. I give an accurate call because I feel like, yes, the stock should get hurt, but not before it touches 80, and then we can fade it back. It's another call I did this morning. I want you to look, and it was, I had so many, so I'm going to just kind of go through them. Look at Nordstrom's. Okay. Now, Nordstrom's got hit today. Why did it get hit? Because Macy's had horrific seasonal sales records. It's just horrible. Macy's is a $20 stock, $18 stock again. It's going to head down there over the time. But, Nordstrom's didn't come out with their numbers, right? So, but Nordstrom's got hit on it. So that should tell you right there. Did Nordstrom's come out with their numbers too? No. But the stock's down $5 a share. Well, if you know Nordstrom's, you know that, yeah, you're going to punish the stock, but you're going to bounce it too. You got to bounce it back up. Why? Because they didn't come out with their numbers. This is Macy's numbers. Macy's isn't Nordstrom's. Are they in the same bracket? Of course they are. That's why all retail collapsed. But Nordstrom's, if you know how this stock works, you know that you have to go long at $45. If you're closing almost at 50 and it's at 45 pre-market, you got to go long. Now, the difference between a professional day trader and somebody who really got their head up their ass is a professional day trader will look at this and say, I think the stock will probably come back up to 47. And that's where I'm going to call it. So I'm going to tell an entire audience that long at 45 and take it to 47. After that, I don't care what the stock does. You don't believe me? Look at the pre-market notes on Nordstrom's. I would go long at the 45 level. If it does dip to 43, don't panic. The stock will go to 47, possibly 48. Okay? That's the call. I took all the thinking out of it. All you had to do as a trader was execute the trade. 100 shares, 200 shares, whatever you want. I'm going to give you a 2-point on this trade today. I am so confident. It's in writing, and I'll give you the reason why. Right? So now you look at the stock. Ding, 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 ding. You go long. Here's the 45. Go long. If it pulled even more, add it 43. And where did I say it would go? Between 47. There's 47 and 48. And it hit 47.35. And the stock is done. We don't need to touch it all day. But see, this took at least 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Okay? Let's do another one. I think you're going to be happy with this one. This one was called Bed Bath & Beyond. All right? Now, Bed Bath & Beyond had pretty decent numbers on their same-store sales and their earnings report. Okay? Problem is, you have to understand how Bed Bath & Beyond operates. Now, I trade Bed Bath & Beyond maybe 4 times a year, and it's usually during earnings. And so I know how the stock works. So you have to trust me when it comes to something like this. Okay, after hours, the stock came out with great news and it pushed all the way to 15 bucks. That's great. But if you know anything about Bed Bath and Beyond, the stock will come back. It'll come back down. Now, where will it come down? Well, again, in pre-market, I'm looking at just a couple dots here. Right? That's all I'm looking at. And in these little dots, I made the decision as a professional day trader, the stock would come down to about 1275 area. I would go long and pop it back to 14 just by looking at these little dots, just these dots. Looking at the overall what it did yesterday, and then these little pre-market dots in the morning. This decision, all this made a decision, right? So now let's put it in writing. What do I want? I think based on these little dots and what I see here, it happened yesterday. I think the stock will come to 1275 and then bounce to 14. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in writing for everyone in the room. Bed Bath & Beyond. I would, if the stock pulls to 1275, let it go to $14 or more. That's it. If it pops to 14, short it. But if it pulls 1275 and it'll go to 14. Now let's look at the stock. Ding, 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 ding. Guess what? It pulled. And where did it pull to? 1275. And where did it go to? 14. Do you see how you could have made $1,000 in this room just by looking at that call alone? You want to see? Look at some of these traders in the room that made money, that took this trade. You want to know why I get hundreds of reviews a day? I mean, look at these traders that have made money. Look at Alejandro. Look how he traded the stock, right? Here's his. There's another one here. Alex. Look at Alex. He took Bed Bath & Beyond. Made $789. All right? Bed Bath & Beyond. He went long for $12.99, 13, and he was playing with 1,000 shares. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's do another one. All right, the next stock that I saw was a stock called airlines. Now, a lot of you don't trade airlines. Okay. Um, and airlines trading airlines is uh, it takes a little bit of it takes discipline. It takes time. I'll be honest with you. Airlines are. I don't look at an airline stock as just a regular stock. I look at it a little bit more complex, and I try to really study those. And during the weekend, I will study airline stocks and stocks that I'm not familiar with to get better on. Well, today um, I saw uh, American Airlines, United Airlines, UAL, um, United Continental. So I saw this gapping down. So the first question, you got a stock that's at 84, sitting at 82, 81. Why is it down? Why? That's the first question you have to ask. You know why it's down? Because American Airlines came out with some numbers that weren't very impressive. So that got hurt this morning, which created all the airlines, most of them get smashed. Well, think. Think for a second as a trader, as a pro. Did UAL give their numbers? What's your answer? Yes or no? No. So why is UAL getting punished if they had nothing to do with the other airline? Good question. The answer? It shouldn't be punished like that. So what do you suggest we do, AJ? Suggest? I'm going to tell you what to do. I don't suggest. I'm not going to give you all these, fib lines, Fibonacci's, this line here. It could go here. It could go here. It could go here. You know what? Stop. Call it out. All right? Step up to the plate. Where's the stock going? I like to go to, I think the stock will probably pull at the open. I like an area around 78. I want to go long. And I think the stock will rebound back to 80, 81. Really? All right. Put that in writing. Okay. I come over here. I pop it up. And I go American Airlines, UAL. I go long at 78. I want to see a sell-off first. How did I know that? How did I know the stock's sitting at 81, it would go to 78? Because I'm a pro. Then I said the stock will go back to 81, 82. How do I know that? Because this is what I do for a living. This is my studying that has paid off. That I can look at an airline stock like this today and I can call it out, pinpoint on the money because I did my homework. I studied. 78, remember that number, and the stock will go to 81, 82. So all you have to do is, if you've never traded in your life, never, you walk into a room of this quality, you come in, you hear me on the mic, and I say, okay, wait for the 78 pull at the open. Yes, sir. 78, sir. Yes, go long. Where should it go, sir? 81, probably 82. There's 81. 82 is coming. You see it? So what would that mean to you? 3 points. 250 shares long, all day move. You see, we play these trades all day. We're not over. I don't need you to find other plays. All right. I don't need you to be all over the place. I'll find you a trade where you're going to make money. 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. Even if you miss the move, I will still guide you to another point. 200 shares, 3 points, $600. You're done for the day. How much buying power? 16,000 buying power. You want another one? Okay, here's another one. How about Kohl's? You ever traded Kohl's before? No, you haven't. Well, Kohl's got hurt on some same store sales, and so they got hurt this morning. Now, Kohl's is a Wall Street likes Kohl's, um, but I think between you and I and how I'm evaluating, I think Kohl's is going to start to go bye bye. That's just my opinion, and I think this is the start. It reminds me of Big Lots, and Big Lots is slowly moving away. I think Kohl's is next. Uh, this is just what I feel, and they used to be kind of a Wall Street darling. A lot of people liked Kohl's, but I'm not seeing that. as much anymore. But I still have to trade it because why? I'm gapping down from 70 to 60 in pre-market. So I felt that the stock would bounce probably, not probably, I said the stock will probably go to 66. So I'm going to go ahead and go long here at 63. And anything, if it dips even a little bit lower, don't worry. I do think you're going to go from 63 to 66 today. And so I put it in writing. So here's Coles. I'd prefer a little bit more downside to 60 in my opinion. However, I would long at 63 and take the stock to 66 and then dump it. And that's it. That's the trade. It's closed at 70, but my number today is 60. Now, understand this was written an hour before the market even opened. This was actually written here in the note probably 30 minutes before the opening bell. So we hadn't even hit 63 or we were around the 63 in pre-market, but I felt the stock would go to 66. All right. And so here you go. And there is 63. And there is just under 66. And I would not trade this. There's no reason to trade this anymore. It's done. It's a done deal. Okay. Now, I want to give you another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give you stars. Now, stars, you saw live on a webinar how we nailed that one, right? Off the bottom. Well, today, stars was being defended. And not just being defended, it was being defended at JP Morgan. And that makes all the difference in the world. Your analyst is really important. So on stars this morning, if you look, JP Morgan made comments and BMO was also defending it. Wells Fargo, yeah, they were defending, but they were cutting the price target. But it's still, they were defending it all in the 200s, 200, 235, 220. But what caught my eye on this was JP Morgan. JP Morgan, and I'll show you. I'm just gonna show you. Okay. So I want you to look how this was written this morning. Okay, just listen to it. SARS sell-off yesterday was exaggerated. Okay, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did you just write that? You're begging me to buy the stock. No, no, no. You are begging me. Please buy the stock. Please buy the stock. An analyst of JP Morgan's caliber coming out saying this is exaggerated. Okay, what are you gonna do? Stare at it? You think it's gonna go down? Do you really think it's gonna go down? No. And then you read his report. The sell-off yesterday was exaggerated. We're going to lower our price on it. And he did make a comment. Seems a little obviously exaggerated over and over. But he did make a comment here on fly on the wall. I'll show you. Fly on the wall here. This is my fly on the wall. See? You go to JP Morgan's comments. Look what he wrote on that. I want to show it. I caught it here. A quarter keeps overweight lower. Wine. The analyst she believes the patients will pay off long term. The lower guidance is monthly back. Lower. I'm trying to find the wording. The reduction guidance to 50 a quarter. Fuel the bear. Accelerate less. Feels investors post news note. Analyst, however, thinks the stock itself is over exaggerated. Lower the guidance and back. Weaker. So basically, again, as I was reading this, was buy the weakness. I was looking for the buy the weakness. I read it somewhere in the report that said buy on the weakness. And I think it was maybe BMO. Yeah, here it is. Goldman. Yeah. One of these analysts was saying buy the weakness, and it stood out for me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, so stars turned out to be a beautiful win. So in pre-market, I told everyone when the analysts were coming out, go ahead and start picking up at 153 if you can get some, and the stock should go to 160 today. And the stock ended up hitting around 160, kind of staying around there, as you can tell. I didn't think it would go to 170 or 175. That wasn't the call. I just felt confident at 160. And for a while there, it stuck at 160 this morning. And I was really proud of this call. It was really nice stars. And I'll show you the call right here. Stars long at 153, and stock will go to 160. If it goes to 150, grab even more. It's pretty simple. And let me see. I want to do one more. What was this one? I'm going to just give you stars. Yeah. I'm going to give you stars, Bed Bath & Beyond. I gave you American Airlines, LB, Macy's, Kohl's, MDB, UAL, Netflix. I'm going to give you Boeing. I think Boeing was a good stock. Boeing got a huge upgrade this morning from Morgan Stanley, $450 price target. That is huge. It's huge. You could be buying 375 calls on that, you know. And Boeing was what, less than a month ago, 3 weeks ago, it was $290. And I was begging you to buy at 320 calls. Look at it now. The stock is sitting at 350 right now. But anyway, it was gapping up 5 points on the call, and I felt that stock was sitting at 348 pre-market. I felt the stock would come down to 345 and then go ahead and go long. If we get 345 and under, as long as the market holds, which it did, we'll probably get the stock to 350. And that was the key thing here. As long as the market held, and I wasn't talking about red, like 200. I mean, if it goes down 200, 300 points, obviously Boeing's going to get hurt. But for the most part, for me as a trader, I felt that the market was already down only on 100 points, and I felt that as long as it stayed there and we were gapping up, I felt that the gap would probably from 348 would go to 344, 5, bottom curl, and then head to 350. And that's kind of like where I felt it would do. So I want you to see the stock and how it reacted to my notes on Boeing. First of all, I want you to recognize the gap up. Here's the gap up from yesterday's close. And then I want you to recognize the entry, 345, which is right here. Go long. And then I said the stock would go to 350. And you can see for the most part, it pretty much stayed within that 350 range. Then obviously the market started to turn green, coming off that 100 hit, and we ran all the way to 352. So a nice 7-point trade. If you played options on it, you bought 350 calls, and you did really good. Right? So that is our recap today. MDB, Nordstrom's, JWN, Bed Bath & Beyond, BBBY, Kohl's, KSS, United Airlines, UAL, Stars, STZ, and Boeing, BA. And a shout out to Raphael, a moderator in our room. Yesterday and today, he was calling long at 33.10 was his call yesterday in the room. He felt that he was going to have strength in the stock, so he told the room he was going long at 33.10. And today, it had strength and ran to 38. So I want a round of applause to Raphael. Hopefully, our moderator, our administrator, will do a chart for him because he did call that out from Raphael. So I just want to give him props on that. He had his eyes all over that. So congratulations. All right, so that's it. That is today's. We had over. It was a good day. A lot of research went in this. I didn't. I had to work hard and pretty much nailed everything that I put out. So I was really impressed. So and traded alongside everyone in the room. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people in here. And if you want to join us tomorrow, get another list. Click here. If you see our list publicized all over the place in different rooms using pretty much the same language, let me know. All right. So be good, be well, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.